Hope we come out of it. Okay. Certainly hope I do. But, and my kid, got out of school early. And originally, when I took my daughter out of school, when the school informed me that the kids weren't going to go back and I went to pick her up, they said that they were going to shut the school down for 3 weeks, not the rest of the year. But that's what it was. And that was due to the pandemic. But now we got two national situations on our hands. The pandemic and the protests that's going on every night, which I'm surprised. I didn't think people would protest every night. When I seen them protest, I was like, oh, okay. This was bound to happen. This is, by the way, people, I hate to say this, but this is the truth. People protesting, this was bound to happen when you have a situation like what we've had here in the U.S. where police officers keep killing black people. And usually the killing is by gunshot. But every now and then it's a chokehold, or in this case a knee to the throat. Most of the time it's gunshots, but the end result is the same. Cops approach a black man who has not done anything worth killing him over. I can't remember the one guy who sold the loose cigarettes. I never thought loose cigarettes would be such a big problem, such a big deal. He sold loose cigarettes. He wasn't selling them at the time that the cops jumped on his back and choked him to death. I can't remember this guy's name. But anyway, George Floyd was supposedly had passed a counterfeit bill, $10 bill. Reportedly, he was intoxicated at the time. Not that that's an excuse to try to spend a counterfeit bill. But this guy was apparently drunk. I don't know where he got the counterfeit bill from. Did he make it at his house, or did he get it from someone else and didn't know it was a counterfeit bill? All these questions will probably be answered here soon. I want to move on. There was a rocket launched this weekend that almost nobody is talking about. I seen the story on the news about this rocket that launched with astronauts on the rocket, and the rocket is going to a space station. I didn't know there was a there's a lot of stuff you don't know, especially if you're not paying attention, because most of the stuff they put out there in the media, and a lot of us just don't pay attention. So you'll miss this stuff if you're not paying attention. But a rocket was launched over the weekend with passengers, and it went to a space station. I don't know how long they're going to be up there, but they're there on the space station, which usually would have been a big deal. People would have been talking about it, but not now, not in today's climate. So, a rocket ship, for those who don't know, was launched over the weekend. I think on Saturday, a rocket was actually launched successfully. Didn't hear anything about any issues with the rocket. So, we got that one off without a hitch. And let's see what we could do about this coronavirus. And then maybe we can all get, make some progress as far as racial tensions are concerned. And I want to move on to sports because it looks like sports are coming back, actually. The sports are coming back. Except for baseball. The players are haggling with the owners. So, you never know. You never actually know if or when with baseball. Because baseball generates a lot of revenue. And I know some of you are thinking, how? Baseball is boring. We love basketball and football. And MMA, fighting, which is back too. MMA. They've had, 3 events now. NASCAR is really smoking everybody. They've had 5 events so far. So they're having their races. No fans in the stands. But it seems to be everything seems to be okay. The drivers are wearing masks once they get out of the car. I haven't seen very many of the crew of the milling around in the garage. Usually in a NASCAR race, they show the crew members sometimes what they're doing while the race is going on. Some of them are, scraping off tires that they've just changed with looks like a putty knife. Some of them are working on parts. Some of them just watching. Crew chief. Just strategizing. So, NASCAR's had their races. I think Brad Keselowski won a race in Bristol, Tennessee. I don't know who sponsored it. It's just really, my mind is mush at this point. But anyway, NASCAR is back. They've had like I said, they've had about 5 races. No fans. And I keep saying this. Let's see if anybody catches on. You could have your fans. For every 1,000, if you filled the place up a third, if you get 100,000 seat stadium and these racetracks, they must have at least that. Because Bristol has the seats all the way around the entire track, but it is a short track though. It's only a half a mile track. It's not one of these big giant tracks that are mile and a half. Nope, just half a mile. And a big oval. So it looks like all sports are coming back except baseball. The players and the managers are haggling about money, of course. And the schedule, what is it going to be? It's going to be reduced. They're not going to play their usual 162 games they usually play in a regular season of baseball. They're not going to do that now. They're only going to play the owners want to play 82 games. The players wanted to play 114 games. So the owners came back with a counter offer. Let's play 50 games. So this could go back and forth until they just lose the season, actually. They might just lose the whole baseball season. Haggling about money. And I know the players, they don't want to appear to be greedy, but I don't think that can be helped. The ones that I feel for, of the players, that is the guy who just got called up from AAA and was planning to take this season and prove that he belongs on the team in the majors. And he was probably making less than $1 million. And so some guys ain't going to be on the team next year. So that's the guys I only feel for in baseball, because the other players have guaranteed contracts and multiple season contracts. So you might have to take a pay cut and lose a lot of money for a pandemic. It's not like the owners just decided to keep your money and to smack you upside the head and be like, take that, give me that money. Eat that, boy, get out my face. No, there was a pandemic. You know why the league has lost money and they can't afford to pay all these big contracts that they could have easily paid if the revenue streams were the same, but they're not. Everybody's lost money. A lot of ads around games or places to eat. So if they're closed down or only serving takeout, you don't get enough takeout orders to, take care of your business forever. I don't think so. I've never seen that many. Usually when you go out to eat with anybody at any restaurant, you only see like one or two people, maybe, if you sit there long enough, chit-chatting during or after dinner with whoever you came with. You don't see that many people picking up takeout. So I'm betting that these people cannot last with just doing takeout. They got to have people come in the restaurant, buy food, tip them, the whole 9 yards, But anyway, we're going to take 30 and call me in the morning. No, we're going to take a 30-second break. We'll be right back right after this.
And now, without further ado, the man we've all been waiting for, T-Jam D. Welcome back to the show.
All right. Thank you. Without further ado, you're going to get the show. Or what's left of it, anyway. Yeah, the baseball players and the owners were haggling about money. Players were being asked to take a pay cut, which they've already taken a pay cut this season, but they've been asked to take another pay cut. And I have to say that I'm on the owner's side this time because it's a pandemic, And yeah, you're losing out on a lot of money, but if you got a multi-year contract, you're only losing a lot of money this season. You get all your money, and you'll be able to make it back up with endorsements and stuff as soon as the economy picks back up, But and the looting stops of the shoes, that's the company who spends the most